What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Tarus, man. We got a lot. we got a lot we got to get into, guys. First and foremost, how was everybody's week? Sorry, I just got audio problems right now. Oh, everything's good. Okay. First and foremost, man, how was everybody's week? I hope everybody's doing good, man. Shout out to Paul Bennett and the boys for the sports stream. I still can't watch any sports right now or pay attention to that. I'm sick. Cavs got swept in the ECF. I'm sick. We traded Myles Garrett. I'm sick. You know what I mean? So yeah. Right now, guys, I just been like hyper focused on the AI. It's been frustrating. And it's supposed to be frustrating, right? Development, I guess, is software development. It's frustrating. Like you got to make sure the hierarchy's right, the command layer's right. You got to make sure, like, you can't just have, like, when you're running a local LMM, guys, you can't just have one brain. You actually need to split it up between like 7 or 8 different smaller brains with one large command node that's kind of directing it. You get what I mean? So, because obviously, if you try to have your AI built up and all in one, just do everything, it's going to be too big to load up. It's not going to work. So you actually have to split up the process, and by running it through adapters, it actually makes the process a lot smoother. There's been a lot of like pain and stuff like that. A lot of frustration because I finally want to just be able to get to speak to it, and I can, but again, it's just like I got to make sure the pipelines are correct. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's a lot of that, a lot of that going on. But yeah, guys, other than that, wifey's good, kids are good, pets are good. You know what I mean? And so, but let's get into it, man. First and foremost, let's get into some updates before we get into, or actual like news updates before we get into the main thing. All right, because I don't know if you guys heard, but Trump said recently that there would be no Israel without him, I guess, right? And Mike Huckabee responded, our diplomat, guys, our U.S. diplomat to Israel responded by saying, America wouldn't exist without Israel. Huh? And so, yeah, man, I'm just trying to figure out like what the hell's going on. Clearly, the executive branch, they're not on the same page with each other, which is obviously not surprising, but also very damning, very pathetic, if you will. Yeah, oh man. Rest in peace to the 8. It was a mixture of military personnel and contractors that lost their lives in a recent plane crash in California. It involved a B-52 bomber attempting to fly out of Edwards Air Force Base a few days ago. Rest in peace, man. That sucks. I don't know if that was normal mission or training mission, but you know what I mean? That sucks. The reports, guys. I need all you conservatives to really just stop believing the first thing that Trump says. Please, guys. Like, at this point, you have to know you can't believe him. The reports have came out. Yes, 300 million of our tax-paying money is going to that ballroom. I think it's about at least 600 million and up now. And yes, it's not being privately funded. Stop the bullshit. Stop pretending otherwise. You guys were just yapping away in favor of Trump, just parroting whatever he says. Like, guys, at what point you're just gonna call this shit out? You know what I mean? I'm just asking. At one point. Just a quick update on my state. There's some movement going on in my state. I'm state of Ohio, guys. Buckeyes, let's go. Unfortunately, real embarrassing. The state legislator dropped a bill that would have banned child marriages. Guys, my state's used to be a purple state, right? It's throughout the last decade or say 15 years gone definitely more to the right. And for example, we had the case where I think she was 10 years old or 11 years old. Unfortunately, she was essayed by an immigrant and got pregnant, and because of our state laws, had to go to the state over to get an abortion. Right? That's the kind of shit we're dealing with. Is we're so pro-life that we're willing to risk the life of a child, of an underdeveloped child, in order to have this pregnancy go through. Right? That's the kind of horse shit we got to deal with here in Ohio. Shout out to BMU already. There have been several presidents that have added to the White House, rebuilt, etc. Yes, and none of them have dared made the claim that it was going to be privately funded. Also, none of them ever claimed to need a ballroom that was going to be privately funded. Like stop the games, BMU. Respectfully, shout out to you though. Yeah. Speaking of repairs, I'm glad. Since we're still up in random updates, guys, did y'all see that our $14 million reflective pool, newly renovated, is already green, already filled with algae? And of course, they couldn't help themselves but blame somehow, some way, the Obama administration. Yeah. This note, just remember how this process went through. The contractor is buddies of Trump, got a no bid contract. That means they would just give it to him. No bid, no quotes, no nothing. It was already severely over budget. And oh my fucking, here we go. Honestly, for real, up here lying already. They're from the old pipes, get a clue. You were supposed to renovate that. That is exactly what we paid you $14 million to do. You meaning the contractor, not you, honestly, for real. But that's what we paid the guy to do. So what did he do? Like this is crazy. This is insane. The cope that goes on. You know what I mean? But yeah, guys, so it's already green. It ain't reflecting shit. Israel doesn't seem to care much about the peace memorandum that we're going to get into. Israel doesn't seem to really care much about it. They're still bombing Lebanon. And shout out to the Ebola virus and the hantavirus. I see those viruses. Y'all really out there trying to make the mainstream news, but come on, bro. Society, we over the plague shit now, bro. You got to come harder in the paint than that, Mother Nature. I mean, that's the least of our problems right now. But I want to get into the main thing, guys. And that is this chaotic ass leadership, or this chaotic behavior that people confuse with leadership. A war we didn't even have to start or fight in. We took an unnecessary L. We lost because we decided to half-ass it from the jump with no real strategy. Our leaders really thought you can just do whatever you want with nothing but brute force. No clear strategic objectives, no clear vision and goals of overall missions, and a bunch of dead civilians and soldiers that has led the U.S. going backwards concerning our global standing. The thing I keep coming back to, guys, is this. Trump and his supporters keep saying America is respected again. But what I'm seeing is not respect. What I'm seeing is instability being sold as strength. There's a difference between leadership and chaos. There's a difference between respect and fear. There's a difference between strategy and just breaking things. And there's a difference between accomplishing the mission and standing in front of cameras pretending the mission was accomplished. Look at Iran. We were told Iran's nuclear facilities were totally obliterated. We were told this was strength. We were told America was winning. Depending on which Trump official was talking that day, we were even told we already won the war. Remember? How many times have we won the war already, guys? Where are we now? We did not force regime change. We did not remove Iran's leverage in the Strait of Hormuz. We did not secure a final peace deal. We did not even finish negotiating the final deal. What we have is a memorandum, a framework, a document that says both sides are going to keep talking and try to get the final deal in 60 days. So after all the bombing, after all the victory laps, after all the totally obliterated talk, the big result is let's negotiate. Let's surrender. That is not victory. And none of this is strength. This is a leader who failed to accomplish the objectives used to justify the conflict in the first place. And I want to be crystal clear and repeat what I've said in the past. This war should have never been started in the first place. I wanted this war ended before it even began. So I have no problems with cutting our losses and going home. I want to be clear. This peace deal needs to be signed. I hope it follows through because I have no problem taking an L or having this be considered a loss as long as the war is ended and no more lives are being lost. But I'm also going to say this bluntly. We lost. There is no way in hell that anyone could claim this is a victory for the United States. Wars are not won because you drop bombs. Wars are won when forces achieve the political objective. And if the objective fails, the war has failed. Now, let's look what's actually in this memorandum. The United States starts removing the naval blockade. The United States starts issuing oil waivers. The United States starts opening a path for frozen Iranian assets. The United States starts talking about terminating sanctions. The United States starts talking about a reconstruction and development framework worth at least $300 billion. Does that sound like the war was just, or does that sound like an apology? Who says we're the moral high ground? And hey, by the way, we're gonna try to get you guys $300 billion, even though you were in the wrong. Meanwhile, the nuclear issue is still being negotiated. Enrichment is still being discussed. So I need you guys to help me understand to help me understand something. If Iran was already defeated, why are we still negotiating with Iran like Iran has leverage? Well, the answer is obvious. It's because they still have leverage, and that's because we don't have any. You see, this is where the Strait of Hormuz come in. This war was sold to Americans as a nuclear war issue. We were told this was about stopping Iran's nuclear program. Then we were told this was about stopping a terrorist regime committing violence against its civilians. Now, a year later, Americans who have probably never had to think about the Strait of Hormuz in their lives are suddenly learning geography because the memorandum is talking about shipping access, maritime services, and future administration of one of the most important waterways on planet Earth. And that matters. Because we started from nuclear facilities and somehow ended up negotiating shipping access through a strait. That's not even a side issue. That is proof the mission expanded instead of being solved. We solved no problems. And the memorandum says commercial vessels get safe passage with no charge for 60 days only, while future arrangements get discussed. Now, I want to be clear, that doesn't guarantee future tolls, but it absolutely puts the issue back on the table. And I want to be clear, the Strait of Hormuz, prior to Trump deciding to get involved, was free for everyone. And now we're talking about waivers. We have gone from Iran's nuclear facilities are totally obliterated to let's negotiate the future of maritime passage near Iran. Yeah, that really gets the spirit rising, doesn't it, guys? Like, this is crazy. This is not what victory or even a stalemate looks like. And then there's Lebanon. The memorandum talks about ending military options on all fronts, including Lebanon. But Israel is already signaling that it's not necessarily going to be bound by every part of this framework. And guys, that raises another basic ass question. How are two countries negotiating the end of a conflict that involves three active parties? Because Israel is not some side issue here. Marco Rubio himself acknowledged that Israel's actions were central to the chain of events that pulled us into this war. I have covered that extensively right here on this network multiple times. So if Lebanon is in the memorandum and Israel is saying it may continue operations anyway, then what exactly got solved? This is not finished peace. This is not peace. This is future explosion that just got kicked, the can got kicked down the road. For someone to act, specifically, let's be clear, conservatives to act surprised if this shit blows up in somebody else's face under, again, another administration's watch. And this is where the Obama comparisons become impossible to ignore. The nuclear restrictions, inspections, verifications, sanction relief, and diplomatic structure being discussed now are not some brilliant new Trump invention. We already had a nuclear deal. Obama had Iran at the table. Iran had accepted restrictions. Iran had accepted inspections. Iran has accepted a diplomatic framework. And nobody had to bomb Iran to get there. No American service members had to die to get there. No civilians had to die to get there. No schools had to be hit to get there. No regional war had to be started to get there. Trump tore up the framework, spent years calling it weak, escalated us into a war, claimed total victory, and then ended up crawling back toward many of the same basic issues that diplomacy had already dealt with 10 years ago. Trump did not prove that he's a strong leader in that Obama's weak. Trump proved Obama already solved more problems diplomatically than Trump can ever solve in his fucking life. And if Obama's $1.7 billion Iran settlement was treated like national humiliation by conservatives and MAGA hatters, then this post-war memorandum that opens the door to oil rate waivers, frozen assets, sanction relief, and the tune of $300 fucking billion deserves way more scrutiny. I wonder how many pallets of cash 300 billion fits on, guys. Conservatives, help me out there. And no, I'm not going to trust, guys, that the majority, that us U.S. taxpayers are not going to be on the hook for the majority of funds. We already see them claiming, well, this is going to be a joint venture, right? Trump has already showed that he can't be trusted. Trump has already showed us, guys, how the game works. He claims something is privately funded or being funded by other countries. Then later, taxpayers somehow end up being exposed. Reports came out recently that, yes, taxpayers are on the hook, as I mentioned earlier, for $300 million. By the way, the bunker, good. It's just so much, guys. So I'm not giving this administration the benefit of doubt. I have no reason to ever give them the benefit of doubt. I haven't given them the benefit of doubt. And even after all of this, if you're still one of those who give this administration the benefit of doubt that they're telling the truth, you are a fucking moron. Another real question that I have. What did we gain that we did not already have a path to gain through diplomacy? Because this war has clearly a cost. Let me be clear. We talk about the frozen assets. We talk about the oil waivers. We talk about this $300 billion framework that hasn't even touched what we individually are going to cough up for our war effort. This war might easily cost us $1 trillion. That's on top of all the other shit. More importantly, American troops have died. Hundreds were injured. Civilians died. Schools were hit. Infrastructure was damaged. Shipping was disrupted. The region became less stable. And after all of that, we're still negotiating. Yeah, I'm pissed off. I'm frustrated. I'm angry. And that's not because I want the war to continue. Again, all you MAGA hatters and everybody trying to play fucking reverse psychology. No, none of us wanted this war in the first place, and we wanted this war over yesterday. But once this war is ended, I want heads to roll. And that starts with Trump. You do not get to start an unnecessary war, fail the mission, come back with worse results than what you went over there with, and call that leadership. That is leader shit. This memorandum, all 14 points, sounds like unconditional surrender, as if Trump is the one surrendering to Iran and not the other way around. And then, guys, let's look at Venezuela. Now, I'm not here once again to pretend like Maduro's a good person, just like the Iran regime. Fuck him. I'm not here to act like Venezuela doesn't have serious domestic problems. But Venezuela's domestic problems are not automatically America's international police jurisdiction, guys. That's just the reality. And the United States wants to claim Maduro is not just a dictator, but a cartel-linked criminal leader who can be snatched up and tried in the U.S. courtroom. Then the evidence for that has to be airtight, not politically persuasive, not morally satisfying to the media, airtight in the court of law. And that's where this case looks dangerous. Maduro is sitting in jail awaiting trial, but sitting in jail, as hopefully you guys should know, is not the same as being convicted and sitting in prison. The government still has to prove a case. A case, by the way, not starting the trial, but an important case nonetheless, coming up on this very issue, June 30th. And because this involves a former head of state, a foreign country, possible sovereignty questions, possible due process questions, and the way he was captured, the bar is sky high for evidence. If Maduro's acquitted after trial, that is bad enough. But if the case gets dismissed before trial because the United States screwed up the process, that is a fucking disaster. That would not just be Maduro walking, that would be Maduro walking with a real propaganda victory. He would be able to say the United States abducted him, violated sovereignty, failed to prove its case, and exposed the whole operation as illegitimate. And then what happens in Venezuela? Right now, Delcy Rodriguez is Maduro's people are still running the country. By the way, no regime change in Venezuela. So, of course, they're going to publicly defend him. They're not going to say Maduro is done. But if the case fails, remember, this is what Delcy and them are supposed to do. Be a backup quarterback until the quarterback comes back from the starting quarterback is back from injury. Y'all forget that Russia and China have interest there too. Oil, debt, military influence, anti-US propaganda and positioning, geopolitical credibility and instability. If the Maduro case collapses, Russia and China may see him as a useful tool and evidence that the United States constantly overreaches and fails in its objectives. And damn, they wouldn't necessarily be wrong, would they? And doesn't it speak to the bigger pattern, guys? Iran, Venezuela, Greenland, Denmark, NATO, Canada, Mexico, the USMCA. Good God, guys. Trump negotiated the USMCA. He signed it. He praised it. He sold it as the replacement for NAFTA. Now he's acting like his own deal is terrible and maybe it shouldn't be renewed. That's what he just finished saying about his own goddamn deal. So the message becomes, I made the deal. I praised the deal. Now the deal is bad. But trust me moving forward to make the next deal I'll eventually complain about. That is chaos. That is instability. That is unbounded entropy. Under Biden, after Russia invaded Ukraine, the United States rallied NATO and allied countries around the world in defense of Ukraine. You didn't even have to agree with every decision to recognize the basic fact that we operated as a unit, as one. America led and our allies followed our leadership. That is not what they're doing under the Trump administration. Our allies are not following American leadership. They are managing us. They are managing our volatility. Canada and Mexico are trying to navigate trade threats. Denmark and Greenland are dealing with pressure over territory disputes. It's crazy. Europe is reacting to tariffs and more instability. The Middle East is dealing with another unnecessary war. Venezuela is tied up in this legally explosive case. Iran is still standing. And Trump supporters still say America's respected again. Bullshit. That is not respect. Respect is when allies trust your leadership. Respect is when the enemies understand your strategy. Respect is when your actions produce the outcome you claimed you wanted. What we're seeing is different. This is a threat-first foreign policy. Press conference first leadership led by our great Pete Hegseth. Break something, declare victory, then let lawyers and diplomats and prosecutors and cabinet members and all your other allies clean up the mess for you, or hope they can clean up the mess. Guys, that's not a strategy. That's not even organized chaos, because Trump has proven that he can't operate in chaos either. He's just simply an agent of chaos. He's an arsonist. Like I have discussed multiple times on this show, all he does is exist to destroy. He cannot create. And the problem with arsonists is that eventually everyone starts distancing themselves from the fire starter, if not just trying to get rid of them outright. Because Donald Trump and you conservatives and you MAGA hatters and all you other people that are still in denial need to come to terms with the fact that Trump is a cancer. And when leadership becomes cancerous, they shouldn't be allowed to continue in their position. They're completely compromised. Cancers need to be removed as soon as possible. Trump needs to be impeached and removed from office before further damage can be done to our country. I sincerely doubt our country can diplomatically, economically, or morally recover from a full 4 year of a President Trump. I really don't think we can recover from that. And by the way, guys, Trump just recently at the G7 summit called for a denuclearization deal with Russia and China. And I'm sitting here going, at first, I'm like, yeah, we got to get rid of our nukes. And then now, because it's Trump doing it, I'm going, please, Trump, please don't. Because if it's anything like this peace memorandum with Iran, that means we will be reducing the amount of nuclear weapons we have, while Russia and China will somehow be allowed to increase theirs. That's the art of the deal, folks. Unconditional surrender, and call that victory. But just like any conservative movement, from MAGA to the Tea Party to the race realist losers to the the Daughters of Confederacy to all these other fucking loser ass movements, they are nothing more than participation trophies. They just want their name to be there. They don't actually care about achieving something. They just want to say they're there. Even going so far as to ruin our reputation around the world, ruin our standing around the globe, and to, more importantly, continue the decline of our country and our country's infrastructure. And for who? Donald Trump? The guy held liable for sexual assault who is currently covering up the sex trafficking of minors by other pedophiles because those were his best friends. If our country collapses, I want every conservative here to know that this is your fault. Because you decided that a conman, a felon, a sexual predator, the worst of the worst, is what you consider real leadership. That's what we got to deal with here. Because the reality is, Trump is enabled because conservatives, still half the country, love the chaos because they wish they can be this chaotic. You know what I mean? Oh, here we go. So I see there's a lot of people up in the comment section. For real. Let's see. User. Stop your whining. Stop your criticizing. Man, just stop your whining about my whining, bitch. Don't see you in the cockpit of a plane. Bro, why does why does everything got to relate like, oh, you have to be there. Oh, you have to. Bro, by the way, user, I was active duty in the military for 8 years and I got 2 deployments to Iraq. All right. That's enough for me to relate to anything. All right. So fuck you. Dirty Red Boy. It's not going to happen. Taco does it again. Agreed, bro. Trump always chickens out. Straight up coward. You know what I mean? We got a lot of people. Shout out Jake. Default Fuse. This is just some dumb shit. Jake Prince, Iran won't have nukes. They didn't have nukes. They didn't have nukes 10 years ago. Like what is these brain dead takes? We're doing this early in the stream, huh, guys? We're going to start with the brain dead takes already. All right. Stupid Democrats, the fear and distrust, suspect. Is this coming from the people who won't shut up about Sharia law coming to America? Is this the fucking clowns who won't shut up about the Muslim right around the corner? You better hide under your bedsheet or the fucking Muslim's coming. Shut up, Scott, you fucking beta male. You guys are scared of your own fucking shadow. I don't ever want to hear a conservative talk about fucking fear and liberals ever again. You guys are the biggest bitches on the planet. Disrespectfully. Let's see. Big Mike. Yeah, I bet your fucking last girlfriend looked like a man too. Let's see. User, I ain't even reading your shit. Let's see. We're going. I ain't even reading none of this shit. I've been seeing how y'all been posting, by the way, in the last in some of my colleagues' stream. And I just want to say for a lot of y'all, especially with the chimp out, just absolutely fuck you. Right? We cannot simply have conversations around here without one of you guys dropping M-bombs and talking about chimping out and all this other shit. And, yeah, fuck you. You know what I mean? You're super emotional. You have no low IQ, very feminine. You're a punk ass bitch and you won't come up here and cam up and say it to my face with your face. David Salazar, once voter ID is passed, the Democrats, we already have voter ID, you fucking moron. You already have to show proof of citizenship to register to vote. And when you go and vote, you already have to show your ID. You guys in this redundant ass policies. Conservatives are like the people who keep trying to fix the same pothole instead of fixing all the other shit going on. You know what I mean? Medic, this guy really is a dumbass. He's a wall that echoes to other liberals and needs to wake up. You fucking moron. Do you understand? I'm like literally the only liberal on this channel. Everybody else here is conservative. That lets me know you don't even watch this shit. But hey, Medic, you probably ain't save anybody's fucking lives. That's how dumb you are. Let's see. Voter ID and not more mail-in ballots. Can you tell your fucking president to not vote with mail-in ballots? You know that's how he votes, right? Your own leader can't even practice what he preach. You can't even hold your own leader to the standard you want the rest of America to be held to. Fuck you. Let's see. You guys talking about fucking ID to, you guys are fucking morons. Absolute morons. Yes, medic. You require ID to vote. This is fucking insane. Yo, I bet you were one of the conservatives years ago constantly crying about shadow banning and misinformation and all this other horse shit. And I'm really going to frame this so everybody can see just how much of a fucking moron you are that you really think this is true. Like, I'm just looking at the comments right now and look at this shit. We got what repeats, fuck you. Bro, that's all they're saying in the comments. And guess what? I'm responding to their comments directly. What, you got a problem with that? Fuck you too. But you know what? I hope, as a matter of fact, let's see how many of y'all are brave as fuck. Come up here. Just come up here, bro. Come up here. I want y'all guys to tell me the 168 girls that died in that in the airstrike of ours. Come and tell me why that's a good thing. You fucking losers. Come up here and tell me that's a good thing. Hey, why is that not? Guys, did y'all see? Hey, real quick, hold on. Did everybody see the link? Real quick. Did everybody see the link? I don't know if it posted or not. Jake Prince. I'm the only one. You see, this is how I know you don't watch the show or this is or whatever the fuck. Jake Prince, if you watch my last stream, I'm the only one up here who said Carmelo was guilty. All of you guys in the chat are fucking morons, and I will continue to call you fucking morons because you're up here acting like you know what I'm saying and you don't. You don't. So, if you're mad about me calling you a moron, educate yourself, you fucking moron. So here we go, guys. 300 billion to Iran. You know what this smells like? Oh my God. Y'all remember the 500 billion slush fund that Bush gave to Iraq? And we had that money disappeared. That money disappeared. We had no idea what happened to that money. The one, why am I so mad? I am fucking pissed because we started an unprovoked war and ended up in a worse spot than we started. We have a bunch of dead people for no reason. You got that right, I'm pissed. I'm sorry that for you conservatives, everything seems like it's not real and it's a fucking game to you, right? That you could just, that everything's in numbers, but for some of us who actually have empathy, this sucks. Because this is just further proof that we shouldn't have been in the war in the first place. And by the way, the fact that you don't understand why I'm mad about the situation, about all the lives we lost, about all the fucking money we spent for no reason, the fact that you asked this lets me know you're a fucking moron. And that's probably why you're an incel and probably one of the fucking dudes whining about, oh, I don't know why women don't want to talk to me. Well, who wants to fucking talk to an inconsiderate asshole? A non-empathetic dude. Dude, you're a fucking douche. How could you really be, you're not mad that kid's dead? That kids are dead? Iran got everything. Yo, this shit is fucking crazy. Like Michelle Obama's a man. Yeah, bro, I bet your girl is too if you even got one. You know what I mean? Why are you mad, bro? Did you not just hear me? I absolutely told you why I'm mad. Empathy is suicide. No, it's not, bro. Like, stop that shit. Like, what is this brain? What is these brain dead takes? You know what I mean? Oh, by the way, I see that now when I schooled y'all on that Carmelo Anthony shit, a lot of y'all just disappeared because you're dumb as fuck and you knew better. You know what I mean? David Salazar. Trump is the... Guys, here's another one I want to frame. This dude has been sending, viralize this, shout out, thanks for supporting the channel, bro. Viralize this has been sending some of the most dumbass comments in the chat all night. And I really want to highlight this one. This man just told me and all of you, we should not care about the President of the United States ruining our standing around the world. Somehow, as American citizens and as American taxpayers, we should not care about what the executive branch is or isn't doing. Viralize this. You are a fucking moron. If you're single, I hope you stay single. You fucking loser. The world did not laugh at us under Biden. The world rallied at us under Biden. We had everybody rocking with us, especially when Russia's dumbass decided to invade Ukraine. Ken, bro, Trump. Oh, now it's bro. Now that I have to fucking roasted you, now it's bro, huh? Bro, Trump is doing what's right by America. No, he's not. Now, you know what? You know what, Ken? I'm gonna keep this up, and I'm gonna try to conflict de-escalation. That's also what I covered last week. Check it out. I'm gonna answer this in good faith. How? Trump only cares about Trump. How is Trump doing right by America by making us worse off? How is Trump? Do you understand, Ken? This is an undeniable fact now, Ken. Trump could have literally done nothing with Iran, and our country and the world would have been better off. Do you understand that? We would be in a better position today if he never pulled us out of the Iranian nuclear deal that Obama had us in 2016. And I need you to understand that, Ken. They didn't and weren't able to get nukes. And now all of their assets is being unfrozen. Like, come, like, Ken, like, stop it, dog. Let's see. Why don't you discuss the 30 killed for protesting by the Iranian government? Because one, there's reporting that that's not even a real number. And two, that's still not our fucking problem. You guys, put this up as well. You see how the goalpost keeps moving? This was about nuclear ambition. Let me repeat. This was about their nuclear ambition and their nuclear program. So if that's what the justification is for this conflict, why the fuck would I even care about that? That's not our problem. Especially when, if we're going to talk about human rights violation, how the fuck do we as the United States got any sort of moral authority about saying what another country is or isn't doing right by their civilians? Man, get the fuck out of here. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. You guys are so fake. All right, let's see. What we got, man? I need to calm down. No, fuck that. I don't need to calm down. I need some water. Please don't cry. Yeah, please don't die. Let's see. Because we are the greatest country. Medic, I love your bike, and I love my fucking homeboys who got bikes. Medic, you can't even ride your bike up and down the federal highways without dodging a fucking pothole right now. Shut up. You can't even ride your bike right now without worrying if the bridge is going to collapse under you. Shut the fuck up. Lying ass motherfuckers, bro. We literally dodging potholes in our federal highways right now, dog. That sound like the greatest country in the world to you? Oh. You're a fucking corny child. Yeah, so are you too, but thanks for supporting the channel. Bro, you just say you hate America. Yeah, bro. A dude that has fucking military lineage, that was born to 2 Army veterans, that served in the Army himself, and hates seeing the degradation of our country under this administration. Yeah, that means I hate America. Viralize this. You are a fucking idiot. Bro, hey, this is guys, this is conservative. This is conservative thinking for you. This is conservative logic. This dude thinks a pothole is comparable to being slaughtered by their own government. You fucking idiot. Did you not see the transition where we started talking about domestic policy? So we were talking about the issues going on in the country right now. I did not make it a fucking comparison to oh my God. You guys are fucking morons. But that's conservatives. They just be jumping from shit to shit and somehow think it's comparable. And then somehow, guys, remember, conservatives are so fucking stupid. They have so much tunnel vision and linear thinking that they think only one thing can be true at a time. As if multiple things can't be true at the same time. As if people can have multiple reasons for why they support or don't support something. Nah. There's just... Oh, man. This guy is a weirdo. Yeah, so are you. Thanks for supporting the channel. Yeah, lame ass got his drive. Bro, you've been watching the whole fucking time, though. I mean, so what does that make you? That makes you just as lame for watching me, then, you fucking idiot. Goddamn, if you think about that. If it's that lame, bounce. But here you are watching me. Thank you. Let's see. Am I taking my own advice on this? Yes, I actually care about the fucking government. I care about you. I care about you wanting fucking you getting health care. I care about you not having to fucking wreck your car on our piss poor infrastructure. I care about a lot of things, bro. You know what I mean? I vote that way as well. Ignorance brings ignorance, don't procreate. Bro, you know what's crazy? I've been married for 18 years and I got 2 kids. And a lot of you clowns that say that, y'all can't get a woman to text you back. That's what's funny is most of you clowns in the fucking chat, y'all can't even get a woman to look y'all in the fucking eye without throwing up in her mouth. That's what you losers are chatting right now. A bunch of incels who never mind a relationship, you can't even get laid. You can't even get a text back, bro. And yet my mixed multiracial ass with the lame Dragon Ball Z poster and all the computer shit has been married, got 2 kids, been in the military, all this shit has gotten the life you fucking losers will never get to have. But hey, at least you support Trump. Trump's gonna make your life better, right, guys? You fucking losers. Obama deal expired in it expired in 2030. It's only 2026. Huh? And the point of making the deals, Greg, is that you make the deal and then you build off the framework of the deals you've been making. You know, square 1, square 2, right? Incremental progress. No, Greg, that don't make any fucking sense, does it, Greg? That shit went right over your head, didn't it, Greg? Viralize this, bro. I dropped the link and you still ain't gonna come up here and say that shit, bro. Your lineup and beard is lame. Bro, I like my lineup and so does wifey. Let your ego go. No, I will not. Fuck you. And if you got a problem with that, you could continue watching. This is free, or you could kick rocks. I don't really care. Let's see. Chandler, Lau, bald dude, no job, screaming in a camera, calling someone a loser. Yes. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Absolutely calling y'all a loser. Yes. Trump already has made my life better. This is absolute copium. You know this is horseshit. You absolutely know this is horseshit. Shabil, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want. Let's see. Why the hell would I show my DD214, you fucking idiot? Who the hell would show their DD214 on the fucking internet? And by the way, if you went to my channel, like I know you clearly don't, I have my Facebook up there, bro. I'm an open book. You can go to all my shit, bro. Dog, this is the internet. You know how many motherfuckers will find out if you lying or not? Don't do it, Jimmy. You are a fucking idiot. Let's see. Did he just post that again? Oh my fucking God. Let's see. All right, not posting viral because these dudes ain't coming up. Let's see. So I'm gonna post the link again for anybody who feel like they want the smoke, because again, a lot of you incels are staying in the fucking comments in your little safe space, right? Put a face to it. Put a face to it. Right? If you feel this strongly about your opinions, do what I'm doing and put a face to it. The link is there. Link is there. Good evening, Hunter. How you doing?
My guy. We're gonna do like FIFA. Take a quick little hydration break. My man been on fire. Drink a little water. Anyway, the only reason I came up here because I wanted to ask you a simple question. Do you believe that Trump's presidency has at least given us the ability to question the power of the president? Would you at least agree to that?
We've always had the power to question the president. I don't understand the question.
Okay, cool. Got you. Because that wasn't specific enough for you, because you're very specific about words. I'll ask you a specific question. Would you agree or disagree that we have had presidents in our history that have fell behind the excuse of saying that because of the House or because of the Senate, he's unable to accomplish things? After watching Trump, would you say that any president that we have moving forward should be able to utilize their power in a more efficient way than what we have seen in the past? Would you agree or disagree with that?
I would disagree.
And how would you disagree with that, sir?
If anything, Trump just showed us that the presidential war powers needs to be reined in, right? Remember, Congress is the one that gives the authority, by the way. Historically, Congress is the one who has the authority for military action, and they have given that power to the president, which means they have full authority to take that power back. Unless, of course, you think this unprovoked war in Iran was a good thing.
I'm not even speaking specifically about.
But I gave you an example of why. I gave you an example.
I got you. Understood. That's the example you gave. When I was asking the question, I wasn't referring to war. What I'm asking you is that, here's what I'll say. First of all, I'm not a Trump supporter. Shout out to Biden for the PACT Act and what that's been able to do for me in my life. Because people like to disrespect Biden and all, whatever. I don't really care about none of that shit. Okay? I'm not a Trump supporter. What I'm saying to you is that as someone who has not been into the daily in and outs of following politics, an outside observer, what I'm saying to you is it presents as if that orange motherfucker has been able to utilize his power to even just simply in the space of executive orders. It appears as though Trump has been able to utilize his executive powers at a higher level than many of the presidents that we have seen before us. You disagree with that?
I disagree with how effective they've been. I don't disagree that he's tried to.
No.
I don't disagree you're talking about his executive orders, correct?
I'm speaking generally, but you're looking for specific wording. I'm trying to ask you a general question, but you're looking for something specific. And every time I throw you something specific, you're sliding out of it.
What do you mean? Okay, so okay. The president is the executive branch. We agree on that.
That is agreed and understood.
Okay. And so for domestic policy specifically, unless it's through acts of Congress, the only other way he can do that is through executive orders. Are we in agreement?
Okay. Following so far.
Okay. So a lot of his executive orders have been challenged in court, have been held up or completely rejected in court. Only a few of his executive orders have gone through. And by the way, one of the things historically, 100 Watt, that at least Americans and the older Americans have always complained about was presidents taking too much executive action. For example, they called Obama the king. He was the first one they referred to king because they said Obama tried to run the country through executive orders. And in yet, 100 Watt, by that standard, Trump's first term, just his first one, do you know he signed more executive orders than Obama did in 8 years?
I'm aware of that.
Do you know he already broke that record again, his second term?
100% aware of that. And it kind of feels like you're proving the point that I'm making right now. Look, this is what I'm saying to you. I'm not saying that the executive orders that Trump has signed is justified or is for the betterment of the country. That's not what I'm saying to you. What I'm asking you is, do you believe that we have had presidents in our past that did not utilize their power to the best of their ability as they were president? Matter of fact, let me stop asking the question. I'm going to speak. I'm telling you that, again, as an outside observer, because I'm not about to spend all day following this shit when every time I watch it, somebody's lying to me. Okay?
Got you. I understand.
Okay. So, as an outside observer that has to receive whatever information I can to process it for my voting purposes, what I'm saying to you is that after seeing Trump moving forward, I would prefer a president who is willing to actually stand on and do what it is that he says he's going to do, right? If the next president that we have is a Democrat and he says that he's going to stand on, I don't know, universal health care. Let's say that's the example. If he says he's going to stand on universal health care and that's why we voted for him, I would like to see him utilize his executive powers to push the healthcare forward. Now, if Congress and Senate goes against it, that's a totally different conversation. What I'm saying to you is, when we look at a president like Obama, yes, he signed a bunch of executive orders, but if I'm not mistaken, most of them were about international affairs and not internal affairs. Am I wrong in that?
I'm not sure about the number of about the breakup of it.
It's just my understanding of the information I received. Obama signed more executive orders to assist with countries that were not America than the ones that he signed that were America. And anything that he signed that was America most likely was war.
Something tells me,
like sending drones.
100 Watt. Something tells me most presidents are going to be like that because most presidents, most of their power is dealing with foreign policy. Most foreign policy decisions, they don't have to go through Congress for authority, right? So they have a lot more leeway in what they're allowed to do. But when it comes to domestic policy specifically, there's a lot more guardrails that they have to deal with. And so something tells me, if we went and looked it up, most presidents would probably have more orders, more executive orders that actually follow through on foreign policy than it would domestic. Because again, Congress controls the power of the purse. So the president can't authorize anything that inherently deals with the power of the purse. You see what I mean? And so, and then now I'm going to answer, and then now I'm going to answer your question and now I'm going to answer your other question because I understand what you're saying. It just seems like you don't like my answer, but I'm going to tell you this answer anyway. You seem to be caught up with Trump standing on stuff on camera, and you seem to be thinking that's matching up with actual tangible evidence.
No, see, I have a complete understanding of who Trump is.
Okay, so
Trump is a showman. He is a showman that happens to become president.
So I don't want another showman up there. 100 Watt. 100 Watt. We were specifically told, and you know me, I'm a liberal, but I remember all the conservatives. They specifically told us a businessman is what was needed to run this country. 100 Watt. We have exactly 4 or 5 billionaires, either the president or in cabinet positions, and we're $40 trillion in debt.
So are you saying that a businessman runs the country worse than a politician?
Yes, because the government is not a business.
And this is where the disconnect is going to start coming from, right? Because the businessman was voted in because the politicians have been playing with us, sir. Are you in disagreement with that?
That's what Trump supporters said they voted for him. So no, I'm not in disagreement. But that doesn't make it true, 100 Watt.
Okay. No. I'm asking your perspective.
Oh my God.
Me and you talking about this specific question. I'm asking you specifically. Yes. Do you believe that the politicians run the country better? I mean, that the businessman runs the country worse than the politicians?
Yes.
Okay. You have one example of a businessman running the country, but many of us have many examples of politicians at many different levels that have done wrong, sir.
Okay, but I can say the same thing at a bunch of different levels as well, because I don't know this, 100 Watt. Did you see how you just moved the goalposts? We're specifically talking about the president, and then you just went and talked about other positions. But we're specifically talking about the president.
No. Okay, cool. Then I'll rephrase exactly what I just said. All of the presidents that we have had prior to Trump have all been politicians. And every president that we have had prior to Trump has their own individual problems. Everybody, depending on what side of this aisle you fall on, points to what problems you have with the president. So I can't speak to what a conservative has against Obama as against a liberal versus Obama. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak to that. I do understand that both sides have a problem with Obama, the same way that both sides have a problem with Trump. What I'm saying to you is that for many of us that are observing, we have seen politician after politician after politician lie to our face and not do what they said they're going to do. So many people thought, okay, if politicians have been lying for this long, let's try a businessman.
And it failed the first time. You see, 100 Watt, every time you're framing this, you see, 100 Watt, because I do pay attention, this is probably why it's frustrating for me, because you keep framing this as if this is Donald Trump's first term and not his second. We already have seen, 100 Watt, respectfully, we have already seen Donald Trump, the businessman, operate for 4 years. The USMCA, he signed it in his first term. 100 Watt, he hates the USMCA. He forgot he signed his own goddamn deal.
So what you're telling me is that we have had one businessman for 2 separate terms, but we have had 47 other politicians for 1, 2, or multiple terms, and people still have their feelings. Like what I'm saying to you is that politicians isn't the answer either. That's not the sweet answer either, because I have listened to you sit here on these panels and talk about how politicians use lobbyists to accomplish what they're trying to accomplish. So I can't trust a politician either, the same way you can't trust a businessman. So there is clear that there has to be something in the middle between a politician who is used with lobbyists and the businessman who is Trump. Where do we fall in the middle?
No, Hunter. See, Hunter, I don't agree with your Hunter. Why? I don't agree with your framing. You want to know why? Because I distrust both. I do not trust either one. But you know why I put up with the politician? Because we can elect them out. I can't get rid of somebody on the corporate board, Hunter Watt. And at the end of the day,
someone on the corporate board was voted in.
The government is not a business. The government is not a system that makes a profit. So trying to run
Stop right there. Stop right there. So you're telling me right now that the United States government has not operated as a business? That's what you're saying to me right now?
What money right now do we bring in that the government, what industry do we run and bring a profit in? That we specifically bring a profit in?
War. Are you kidding me?
Defense contractors are private. Did you not know that? Defense contractors are private.
So, okay, cool.
Our
so
taxpayer, stop, because you've been wrong. Our taxpayer, no. Hunter Watt, respectfully, this is my platform. Please, bro, respectfully. Hunter
Watt. It's not George's Black Man, but okay.
But you know I'm streaming on my other channel, right? You get what I mean? So respect. No, I'm just saying, bro, like respectfully, that's not the same. You keep trying to conflate shit that's not the same.
I don't understand how I conflate it. I'm not understanding how I conflate it. What I'm saying to you is that we have had a very long history of watching politicians do bullshit to help each other out. Are you gonna now forget Nancy Pelosi?
No. When did I ever make that claim? You see what I mean? Like you just.
So what I'm saying. So respectfully, what I'm saying to you is that we have watched the United States government give those defense contracts to their friends in the purpose of making money. The United States government has the people have their hands in the pocket of the United States government, which is why the population complains about lobbyists. So you cannot sit on this platform and say that exists, but the United States government does not operate as a business.
I literally never made that claim. You literally just put a bunch of fucking words in my mouth.
You just did.
Hunter Watt, are you gonna let me answer your question or not? Once again, the defense contractors are private. So our tax money, you and my tax money, goes to that. Yes, politicians have fucked it up. I have never once claimed otherwise. And so the fact that you coming up here acting like I've claimed that politicians somehow don't be fucking up or they not corrupt is as asinine and misinformed. And then on top of that, since you want to play the semantics game, do you have to be a liberal or conservative, Hunter Watt, to support somebody held liable for sexual assault? Yes or no? Is that a liberal or conservative thing?
Nope.
That's just a human thing, right?
Sure.
Right. Do you have to be a liberal or conservative to care about the fact that he's currently covering up the sex trafficking of minors by other pedophiles? Is that a liberal or conservative thing?
Nope.
Is it a liberal conservative thing to be concerned that he's taking a free fucking plane from the Qatari government that we all know he's going to take with him after office? In theory, is that a liberal or conservative thing?
The reason why I still stand on what I said, because every example that you just gave, there is someone in the United States government that has to sign off on that shit.
Right now, the guy currently signing off on the shit I just named is Donald Trump. You see, here's the thing.
Donald Trump. So you're telling me So you're telling me that Donald Trump is the actual signature on those contract defense checks?
Not only,
but those products.
When I mentioned the sexual assault.
Okay,
yes.
cool. So then let's do this then. How about the positions that the people in government feel? Are we also not going to say that those are friends looking out for other friends?
Yes, and didn't you just mention the fact that I mentioned on other platforms that I mentioned lobbyists? So you already know the answer to that question. So
we're in agreement. To me, it sounds like we're in agreement that the United States government operates as a business. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like we're in agreement, sir.
Sure. So what's your fucking point?
You literally just said the complete opposite. You just said that the government does not operate as a business. What is your point about
Trump's... Bro, you have not made a point about Trump's leadership at all. You have talked about fucking everything except the topic. So now I'm going to ask you, what was the point?
Oh, but bro, I started with Trump.
If the country, you see how I'm trying to give it to you? If the country operates like a business, okay, it's an LLC. I'm giving that to you. So now I need you to explain to me why you couldn't pick another bit. I know you're not a Trump supporter, so I'm using you metaphorically. Why couldn't you pick another businessman who wasn't a sex trafficker? Why couldn't you pick another businessman who wasn't in the Epstein files? Hunter White, you could tell me, Hunter White, I bet you know this better than I do. There's a bunch of wealthy businessmen who are not in the Epstein files. There's a bunch of wealthy businessmen who aren't a bunch of fucking sex predators. There's a bunch of wealthy businessmen who aren't fucking 34 convicted felons. So even in the world where I admit that this country is ran by a business, you need to admit that that doesn't mean we tolerate pedophiles.
Okay, so let me do this. Based on what you said.
No, agree. You either agree or you get off the platform.
Okay.
We either go there, because I answer your question. So we either got this understanding or you got to go.
Okay, so in response to what you just said, am I allowed to respond or you just want me to respond with what you're looking for?
Bro, right now you haven't responded directly to anything, and I'm trying to be patient.
I haven't responded directly to anything. I have responded to Ruth, my man.
Bro, are you gonna answer? Are you gonna respond or not, bro? Are you gonna keep? Oh, my man. Come on, dog.
You are bullying right now. Calm the fuck down, please. Please calm down.
You're talking like a woman right now. Talking about calm down.
Oh, now I'm a bitch.
Like, come on, dog.
Bro, please calm down. Please,
I didn't call you a bitch. I didn't call you a bitch. You called yourself a bitch.
Let's not do this. Let's not do this. Sorry,
then answer the question already. Just answer the question. Just respond already.
Calm down, please. I'm trying to talk to you, but you pissing me off the same way.
Guys, if I tell you to answer the question, just answer the question. That's all you have to do. 100 Watt, please don't make me do this again. I'm going to bring you up, and now please just answer the question. You was going to respond.
Re-ask your question so I make sure I directly answer your question, sir.
So you don't even remember what you were saying.
I know you said that I have not directly answered any questions. I need to hear the question so I can do my best to directly answer it, sir. You said that I haven't.
I told you that if I'm going to give you and agree with you that this country is a business, is an LLC, then you also have to agree with me that just because we're an LLC does not mean the CEO has to be a pedophile.
Why would I disagree with that?
Why couldn't you just agree with it in the first time?
I didn't have a problem.
You're playing.
No, it's your platform. I'm gonna shut up, man. I'm gonna let you speak. I'm gonna shut up.
You're good. You're good, dude. I'm trying to calm down because honestly, like, I'm trying to calm down. Beans, you're up, but dog, you gotta get on camera, dog.
No, I honestly came up because I thought you wasn't gonna be able to remember the question, and I was gonna try to remind you of it, but you remembered it. So That's the only reason why I came up. I'm
Really,
listening though.
Beans?
Good performance. I'm listening, bro. I'm watching. I'm rocking.
All right, you can stay up. You can stay up. Just like, you know what, whatever, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna just be
Honestly,
quiet. Go ahead. I'm gonna just be quiet. I want to hear y'all finish.
yeah.
Go ahead, Joe.
What? Go ahead.
I don't know why we would disagree that something has to be run by someone other than a pedophile. I don't know what point you're trying to make by that. What I'm saying to you is that, yes, we're in agreement that Donald Trump is a piece of shit. He's hiding a lot of shit. He's been involved in a lot of shit, and he supports a lot of bullshit. We're in agreement with that, sir. I'm not pushing back on any of that. What I'm telling you is that I, as someone who is an outside observer, I keep throwing this out there because I need niggas to know that I'm not sitting on CNN every day. Okay?
100 Watt. I know that about you. We've had this
Hear what I'm
discussion.
saying? So, as an outside observer, what I'm saying to you is that when I look at Donald Trump and his presidency versus other presidents, whether I agree with what he is doing or not, or whether it works or not, what I'm saying is that I have seen him utilize his power in a way that other presidents have not. What I also think is possible is if there is a person in his space that is not a pedophile, that is not selfish, and is not self-centered, that can utilize the power in the way that I have seen him, it can benefit the country. So what I'm saying is that the next president that slides in after him can't be no soft-ass little bitch. That's all I'm saying, sir.
100 Watt. And what I'm trying to say is, when you're looking at Trump and how he's using his power, right? I see that you think he's getting a lot of things done, but I'm trying to explain to you that him bragging about and making all of these, hey, look what we're trying to do, isn't the same as actual tangible results, right? And then 100 Watt. Have you not heard of the age-old phrase, just because you can doesn't mean you should? Right? He used his power to start a global 100 Watt. Here's an example of his power. Just come on, because I am answering your question directly. He used his power to start a global trade war. Right? So he had the power to do that. But that doesn't mean he should have started a global trade war that we're currently losing. This is what I mean. You see, it doesn't just matter if you're using your power. It's how you're using your power.
Let me give you a specific, let me give you something specific. I kind of feel like, and I'm assuming here when I make this statement, I feel like we agree that adolescent mutilation should be completely wiped off the board. There is no reason in the world why a 13-year-old should be taking hormones unless it is medically prescribed. Are we in agreement there?
Agreed.
Okay.
We already talked about that.
So if the next president shows up and utilizes his power to the best of his ability to make sure that teenagers are not utilizing that, would you say that that is an example of you can and should?
Maybe. Here's what I will say. No. What? Here's what I would say about that specific issue. Guess what? That would be one of many things. Even if I disagree with him, isn't that one of many things I got to take into consideration? Right? Because we're not going to agree with a politician on everything. Do we agree with that? Bro? Okay, you're waving now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We're in agreement there. Look, this is what I'm saying to you. Whenever someone uses their power, whenever someone takes advantage of what they have, there's always a possibility of damage being done. What I'm saying to you is that if you put someone who is less shitty than the person we have in front of us, the possibilities of what our country can get from that is a whole lot more than a president that hides behind, oh, well, you know, the Senate wouldn't let me do it. I would rather a president who has the best interests of our country actually use his power to try and get something done and make the Senate say no, rather than just standing in front of a microphone and saying, well, I mean, the Senate couldn't come to agreement, so I did nothing about it.
Okay. So
are you in disagreement?
I actually am, because that's not how our three branches of government work.
I understand the checks and balances, so that's why we go back to, if the House or Senate pushes against what the president is saying, that's a completely different conversation.
Okay, but in this scenario, if they don't push back, for example, 100 Watt, the Senate and House enabled Trump with a lot of the things he's doing. This is why, if you haven't noticed, this is one of the least productive Congresses we've ever had, because they have let Donald Trump do a lot of things they otherwise, let's be clear, wouldn't let a Democrat do if he was in position. And the results of that is an unprovoked war in Iran that we're currently a memorandum of peace deal, a global trade war that we're losing, and nonstop corruption everywhere. So I'm simply saying it's not just using your power. It has to matter how you use it. I don't know why that's problematic. All right. He froze again. Hey man, y'all know how this infrastructure is here in America, bro. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised too, because I was experiencing this as well. I wouldn't be surprised if 100 Watt was sitting half a click away from a damn tower. Y'all know how it is. You'd be sitting maybe at best half a click away from a tower, and you still get like 1-2 bars. Right? Like you be in like residential areas, and like if you gotta make a call to anybody, it ain't getting through. But yeah, you could be out in the middle of nowhere, which I guess is good. You could be in the middle of out in the middle of nowhere and get full bars, bro, full service. I mean, but guys, it can't just matter about wielding power. It's about how you use your power. Like this is like we guys, we learned this growing up. Right? Just because you can doesn't mean you should. There's a lot of things we can do. What does that mean though? Yeah. Trump right now didn't have to open up a little private slush fund with the Qatari banks, but he did. Trump didn't have to pull the crypto rugs, but he did. Hell, I'll stay off of Trump, guys. I'll use my favorite president, Obama. Obama didn't have to turbo boost that fucking drone strike, our drone program, but he did. He didn't have to bomb Libya and kill Gaddafi, but he did. Bush and them didn't have to lie about weapons of mass destruction, but they did. Right? There's a lot of times that this is why the checks and balances are a thing, guys, because yeah, presidents with unchecked power, we've already seen this story before. We've already seen this movie before, guys. We've already read this story. We already see what happens when you give one man too much power to wield. It typically doesn't end well for anybody. I understand it is frustrating as hell that our government, I want to be very clear. You guys have heard me say this. Our government is dysfunctional, is all shit. And even in a functioning government, and this is where I got to give conservatives, sometimes they're props because sometimes they're right. Bro, we are a country of 350 mil plus in 50 states. Trying to get everybody on the same page to agree on anything is a fucking gauntlet run in and of itself. And it should be. It should be hard. Because hard means, yes, you have to be bipartisan, use bipartisanship. You have to compromise. You have to then somehow speak to the other side, because at the end of the day, you're still supposed to be on the same team, Team America. But increasingly, we're going the opposite direction, right? Oh, this one just, man. And Dubs, let me tell you something, bro. It's funny, but I laugh in pain. And the reason why is because, as you know, I'm from Northeast Ohio, and I live in Lake County, bro. It's kind of like suburb/rural, right? We came out here after I got out the military and everything like that, bro. It's crazy where these developments get built. Right next to industrial zones and everything, and even right next to residential zones, they build these data centers. Like, for example, right, there's this the HOA I used to live in, Lake Erie Shores, right? Live right by the lake, and further down east on Lake Erie, there's the nuclear plants, right? The nuclear facilities. But further in, there's all of these like factories. And one of the most annoying things that became a thing was, I think if anybody's ever worked the blue collar jobs, y'all know this, bro. Especially the smell in the morning. Like sometimes it smells like sulfur or things like that, and it kind of just like creeps everywhere. And that smell is normal, but that's not supposed to be around residential areas. And yet they keep squeezing them in and everything like that. And they're doing the same thing with the data centers. Except unlike the factories with the shitty smell, the data centers ain't hiring hundreds of people at a time. At least not the main ones they're putting up. We do have one around the Columbus area that's supposed to be like the mega data center. That's going to be the only one that gets close to any sort of industrial level hiring. But all these other data centers, bro, if they employ any more than 20 people, it's a failure. Right? And so people have noticed, bro, not just in Ohio, but all around the country, the water pressure going down. The electric bill has gone up. And for what? Right? Like these people you'll see people make the argument that, oh, we need data centers. How else are you going to scroll Facebook and all this other shit? I'm sorry. Wait, the internet and all that shit was doing just fine before this data center over here was being built. And most of these data centers, when you look it up, they're specifically for a lot of that AI computing, a lot of AI slop. I'm sorry, that's not necessary. Right? Look at this. This is another uninformed take. He's putting high-paying jobs in rural areas. That's why all the people in rural areas are pissed the fuck off, right? Because they're getting high paying jobs. Jeremy, like, just stop. Yeah, they're draining all the rural area sources, energy. Yep, it's only getting worse. And guess what, man? What sucks is that now you're seeing some of these states, they're not even forcing these companies with building the data centers to offset their energy source. Like damn, at least build like green energy source, like solar panel farm, a solar farm, something to offset your energy. Nah, you're just gonna take it up on the grid. You know what I mean? Red Horseman 666. How many Native Americans are sick and tired of these stupid tribalists bringing their inferior tribalist BS into our lands? Holy shit. Are you Native, bro? I don't know how to like think about this comment. I don't want to like offend you. Oh shit. Green energy is a joke. No, it's not. Like this is so stupid. Like think about thinking it's a joke to diversify your energy sector. How is it a joke to not be overly reliant on one or two commodities? Being overly reliant on one or two commodities, by the way, is how you get Americans getting pissed off with gas prices spiking up and down like this. Because you're overly reliant. But you know what? If we had a diverse energy sector, a lot of this shock wouldn't be as bad. Not saying it goes away, but it wouldn't be as bad. Dude, I don't have nothing negative to say. You know what I mean? I hope that's not offensive. Exactly. Nuclear energy is green energy. You get what I mean? Like this is crazy. By the way, red state Texas can't stop putting up those wind farms. Despite all the fear mongering that you conservatives do with the windmills and the birds and cancer and all this shit, red state Texas can't get enough. You know what I mean? Hey, Barbara, how's it going? Hey, guys. Hey, thanks for rocking with me in the chat, man. I see there's a lot of y'all. Hey, the haters watching, the supporters watching, guys. I just, uh, Carl really just basically brought it back up, guys. I'm just really not happy. I want this war to end, as you guys know, or anybody that rocks with me. Y'all know I want this war to end, and I wanted it to end yesterday. What's also true, because multiple things could be true at the same time, is that this is an L. Let this go through. Let us sign it. Let us take this L. Right? I'm sorry. Like I hope, Carl, I'm making that clear. Like this is an L, and we need to accept it's an L because we need to just end the damn war. And right now the deal is just, let's be clear, bro. And now that we know what the deal is, Iran has all the leverage. It's just enjoy your Stone Age solar. This can't be a real comment, guys. Hey, by the way, guys, the QR code, that's the if y'all scan that, that's the link to my main channel, or not my main channel, my other channel, my personal channel, Tyrus. Guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Black Man Unfiltered. This channel is awesome. We got a lot of people that do they pods and everything like that. So please support the channel. BMU allows us to dual stream. So not only are we doing it on this platform, but we stream it on our own personal channels as well. So yeah, guys, that QR code up there, that's for my personal YouTube channel. But yeah, make sure the first thing you do is like, share, and subscribe this channel. I mean, if y'all get to the other channel, on your free time, don't matter. But yeah, man, what is this? Enjoy your Stone Age solar? Like this is weird. Teach your kids to change their oil, not their gender. Man, there's a lot of parents who can't teach the kids anything. Green energy creates massive amounts of job. Agreed, because that's a lot of hands-on blue-collar job to maintain that stuff, just like you got to maintain any other sorts of infrastructure, right? MAGA doesn't understand that, which is crazy because they're the ones who need the jobs the most. They had to build the green projects and install all the projects and maintenance. You know what that also helps bring back that they always talking about? Manufacturing, a manufacturing base. You know, we don't make shit in America anymore. I guess we forgot all that shit though. We forgot all that. Hey, Scam, I see you. Sorry, I just Jesus, man. Hey, I don't know if some of y'all are speaking to me or y'all battling back and forth in chat. I don't want to go off on the wrong person like I did 2 weeks ago. JP, Trump literally spoke at the G7 in front of all the world leaders and said in 30 days he's going to, no way, dog, please, no, I got to look that up, please, no. Like, I know he's been saying some reckless shit, JP, in the, telling all the world, I'm the boss. But please don't tell me he actually said that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna kind of pull that up. All right, JP, right now the only thing I'm seeing is a couple hours ago, he's just kind of being wishy-washy about whether he's going to sign the deal on Friday. Apparently, Vance is going to be the one who's signing it, not Trump, but Trump signed. Okay, so Trump signed the electronic one, auto pin. Trump signed the one, but on Friday's joint, that's the one he's being wishy-washy about. So again, it's just, yeah, we just got to stay tuned. Oh yeah, guys, I got the memo too. The little 14-point joint. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do everybody here solid because I want to show you guys that I get my news from multiple sources, right? Just to see if shit's lining up or not. All right. Let's see. Where is it? Here we go. Some of you guys are going to appreciate this. And again, these people hate people like me, and I don't like them. But again, I like going to different places just to see what other people are saying and see other information I might not have considered. So here we are at freaking Breitbart. And we're going to pull up, whoop, here's the text. And guess what, guys? We're going to read it. We are going to read it just so you guys can't claim you didn't hear it. You didn't know what's in the fucking thing, what's in the resolution or anything. Here we go. The United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran and their allies in the current war, by signing this MOU, declared the immediate and permanent termination of military operation on all fronts, including Lebanon, and undertake from now on not to initiate any war or any military operation against each other, and to refrain from the threat or use of force against each other, and ensuring the territorial integrity and sovereignty of Lebanon. The final deal will confirm the permanent termination of the war on all fronts, including in Lebanon, and other provisions of this paragraph. Holy hell, guys, just off that first one alone, I just want to let y'all know, I hope Israel heard the first part. Guys, right? They don't seem to be too happy about the Lebanese part. in Israel. But let's continue. The United States of America and the Republic of Iran undertake to respect each other's sovereignty and territorial integrity and to refrain from interfering in each other's internal affairs. 3. The United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran commit to negotiating and achieving the final deal in maximum 60 days, extendable with mutual consent. 4. Immediately upon signing of this MOU, the United States of America will begin the removal of its naval blockade and any disturbances or impediments against the Islamic Republic of Iran and will fully end the naval blockade within 30 days. During this period, the traffic of vessels will be in proportion to the numbers of pre-war traffic being restored by the Islamic Republic of Iran. The United States of America further undertakes to remove its forces from the proximity of the Islamic Republic of Iran within 30 days after the final deal. 5. Upon signing of this MOU, the Islamic Republic of Iran will make arrangements using its best efforts for the safe passage of commercial vessels, with no charge for 60 days only, from the Persian Gulf to the Sea of Oman and vice versa. The traffic of commercial vessels will immediately start, and considering the need for removing the technical and military obstacles and demining by Islamic Republic of Iran will be instated by within 30 days. The Islamic Republic of Iran will conduct dialogue with the Sultanate of Oman to define the future administration and maritime services in the Strait of Hormuz, and discussions with other Persian Gulf littoral states in line with applicable international law and the sovereign rights of coastal states of the Strait of Hormuz. The United States of America undertakes, with regional partners, to develop a definitive mutually agreed plan with at least $300 billion for the reconstruction and economic development of the Islamic Republic of Iran. The mechanism for the implementation of this plan will be finalized as part of a final deal within 60 days. All required licenses, waivers, and permissions needed for the relevant financial transactions will be granted by the United States of America. 7. The United States of America undertakes to terminate all types of sanctions against the Islamic Republic of Iran, including the United Nations Security Council resolution, IAEA Board of Governors resolution, and all unilateral U.S. sanctions, primary and secondary, in an agreed upon schedule as part of the final deal. The Islamic Republic of Iran and the United States of America acknowledge the critical importance of the sanctions termination issues above mentioned, and express their intentions to immediately address the issues in the negotiations in order to achieve mutual agreement on them.
Ladies and gentlemen, he'll be back in just a second. His power went out. He'll be back. If anybody wants to come up and have something on his face, likely anybody want to, you can definitely come up and do that. If anybody has anything they want to say, you can come up and have the conversation right now. But we can read some of these comments until he gets back. Somebody said Michelle is a man. Somebody said Michelle got a PP. It says Republicans keep crashing Grindr at their meetings. It also says here leftists just care about immigrant votes and transgender rights. That is correct. It says, what the fuck? No damn, oh my God, way due to the American people think our tax dollars should be going towards Iran, right? It says here TDS equals Trump. Wow. Let's see here. The Department of Education and teachers around the nation are saying kids can't read and liberals are boosting the educated. The irony. All right. Let's see here. Obama had a better deal. Now we're in an international joke. All right. Obama released 1.9 billion of Iran's own assets. It also says, I love when the losers cherry pick the uneducated people, quote, to suit their narrative, because if they quoted the whole quote, it would make them look stupider than more stupid, guys, is the way you pronounce that, than normal. Keep crying, libtards. Your delicious tears sustain me while I rub my nipples. This is ridiculous. I should have read that first. All right. Let's see here. 100 watts says the FIFA game he is in Dallas, right up here by me. So yeah, they're in Arlington today. So it is extremely packed over in that side of town. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your host, the yellow man himself, is back in the building. Tyrush.
Yeah, there's a thunderstorm. Y'all not getting rid of me that easily. Oh, we're going to finish this reading. We are absolutely going to finish this reading.
All right, there you go.
Right? Hey, I'm going to try to, hey, BMU, shout out. Thank you, bro. Yeah, man, I'm going to blame it on the weather, guys. I'm going to blame it on the weather. I'm not going to blame it on the fact that they got me, that I'm reading this out loud. Where we stop at? That's right. 8. Right? The Islamic Republic of Iran reaffirms that it shall not procure or develop nuclear weapons. Oh, let me pull this back up. That way everybody can just follow along. The United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran have agreed to resolve the disposition of stockpiled enriched material pursuant to a mechanism that will be mutually agreed upon in accordance with the schedule mentioned in paragraph 7, with the minimum methodology to be down blended on site under the supervision of the IAEA. The two parties also agree to discuss the issue of enrichment and other mutually agreed matters related to the Islamic Republic of Iran's nuclear needs based on satisfactory framework being agreed upon in the final deal. So they also get to keep some of their enriched uranium. Just like the old deal. The final deal will confirm the provisions of this paragraph. The United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran acknowledge the critical importance of the nuclear issues above mentioned and express their intentions to immediately address the issues in the negotiations in order to achieve mutual agreement on them. We are going to finish this out, guys. This is 14 points. Well, 13 because 14 is a joke. But we're going to finish this out. That way, guys, no Trump supporter, conservative could claim they ain't know what was in this resolution. By the way, peak the drop in view count, guys. You see what happened when I started reading the text verbatim? They started flocking. They started leaving, scattered like roaches. Number 9. Pending the final deal, the United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran agreed to maintain the status quo. The Islamic Republic of Iran will maintain the current status quo of its nuclear program, and the United States of America will not impose any new sanctions and will not deploy additional forces in the region. 10. The United States of America undertakes that immediately upon the signing of this MOU, and until the termination of sanctions, the U.S. Department of Treasury will issue waivers for the export of Iranian crude oil, petroleum products and derivatives, and all associated services, including banking transactions, insurance, transportation, etc. 11. The United States of America undertakes to make fully available for use the frozen or restricted funds and assets of the Islamic Republic of Iran upon the implementation of this MOU. The United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran will mutually agree on the procedures related to the release of these funds during the negotiations. Such funds, whether retained in the original account or transferred, shall be made fully usable for payment to any ultimate beneficiary designated by the Central Bank of the Islamic Republic of Iran. The United States of America undertakes to issue all necessary licenses and authorizations accordingly. 12. The United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran agreed that an executive mechanism will be established to monitor the successful implementation of this MOU and the future compliance of the final deal. 13. After signing this MOU and subject to the beginning of the implementation of paragraphs 1, 4, 5, 10, and 11 of this MOU and the continuing implementation of these measures, the United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran will start negotiations regarding the final deal exclusively on the other paragraphs. 14. The final deal will be endorsed by a binding UNSC resolution. So that's straight from the horse's mouth, guys. That's the resolution they agreed to. And I read this resolution from a far right-wing website so that all of you conservatives in the chat can't even say shit. Does this sound like a country that got totally obliterated? Well, wait, my bad. Well, if that's meant to America, that sounds like a deal the country that's surrendering signs, right? We went from we won this war, we're winning this war, NATO allies aren't our allies because they're not helping us in the war we won, to let's give them $300 billion. Medic, again, you clearly don't listen or you purposely come up here and lie. How many different ways have I told you I want us to go ahead and take the L because we never should have been in war? It doesn't change the fact that your president got us into a dumbass war we should have been in the first place. Two things can be true, Medic. Yeah, man. Strategic objectives, guys. Like, y'all know all the reports out. All the military strategists, the Pentagon and everything, told Trump, this shit ain't gonna work if we don't have a strategy to control the Strait of Hormuz. And 100 Watt, I hope you're listening. Because with that information, Trump has the power to still send us to war, but he probably shouldn't have, right? Here's another moron. It was not a dumbass war. 47 years of killing Americans using proxy militias. We've been messing and interfering with the country of Iran since 1953. Right? A lot longer than 47 years. We have, as Americans, the inability to mind our own fucking business, and look where that has finally gotten us. Loretta, Iran are religious zealots and they would extort the world. Or are you serious? We're currently extorting the world right now, and we got Christian nationalism on the rise. Like how oblivious and naive can you possibly be to cry about any country having a bunch of religious zealots right now? Our fucking president tweeted himself as an image of Jesus. And you're going to post this bullshit. Match, how you doing, man? I ain't seen you in a minute. You finally get your... Was you here last week with us? I forgot. Oh, quit being a liberal cryberry. No, I won't, bro. I'm going to continue crying and complaining about the decline of our country. I'm sorry if you're happy about it. I'm not. Okay. Yeah. Was you posted from a burner account, bro? You must have said some wild shit to get banned, dog. I don't even know what you was doing. I've also covered this on the show thoroughly multiple times, and I'm gonna repeat this again. I'm gonna read the comment first. Show Nick, thanks for rocking with us. Christian nationalists means they identify as Christians first and they love their country. A lot of people identify as things that they don't actually practice every day, right? Right, Shona, you know that about people, right? You know about the people who sin 6 days a week and then just go to church on Sundays and I forgive my sins. Right? Here, fun fact, Shoni, you can't be a racist and a Christian at the same time. That's goes against the teaching of Christ. You see, Christian nationalists, the main part about there, Christ. You got to be a follower of Christ. Christian nationalists are inherently not followers of Christ. Look at their rhetoric, look how they behave, look at what they believe in. Christian nationalist is a political movement, and it needs to die like one. Just Obama did that, not President DJ, who was born in Kenya. Like, what? Are y'all drunk? I'm the one who's been smoking some Mary Jane up here, but are you guys drunk? Commenting right now in the chat. Like, what are we doing here, guys? Montcalm Thompson, there's plenty of reasons for this war. What about all the God, bro? I swear, it's like, I swear, am I? You guys, it's like, I swear, y'all just repeat the same comment in different words. Like, we've been over this all night and multiple times throughout this channel, right? There's plenty of reasons why this war is unjust, unprovoked, and illegal, right? This is insane. You can't, even after all this, still think this was a good idea. This is crazy. Fucking NPCs. Bro, I'm trying to get people to look. I got a special relationship with y'all in the chat, man. But y'all really gotta come, like please, guys. The comments gotta be, they too similar. I really hope it's y'all. But we've been over this, and Yahweh, I'm like co-signing you, bro. Like guys, come on, man. They would rather be nuked than say they're wrong. We live in a country where people literally vote against their own interests just to make sure the people they don't like get any benefits either. Like, I've said this before, Match, and you've heard me say this before. If you look at our current federal spending, we spend enough to have universal health care right now. World-class universal health care, and the nurses and doctors will still keep their salaries. But you know why we don't have universal health care in this country, Match? Is because conservatives, they just hate that shit. And I think it's not even that they hate it. They hate that people who look like me or people who think like me, despite being their fellow Americans, will also receive it. Despite the fact that I'm a veteran and I got the VA healthcare anyway. But you get what I mean, civilian-wise. Max says all countries with universal healthcare suck. No, they don't. And the countries with privatized healthcare suck even more. Right? And we suck. We're one of two countries that even allow pharmaceuticals to advertise on television. Right? Like, I clearly never left the country other than the fact that I was born overseas. I was stationed overseas. Right? My wife is German. I was living in Germany for 5 years. We've seen how that system worked. My daughters were born in Germany and Mannheim. Yeah, I never left the country, bro. You're absolutely right. Trump became president just to see if he could change his whole personality, and now he's a walking rebel flag. He's not here for us. He's rich anyway. And that's what's crazy, bro. Like, you ever heard, and I'm gonna end this chat soon because it's already 12:10. Jesus Christ. One of the things, Match, that's always just never made any sense is when people make this comment of, well, Trump is wealthy. He doesn't need any more money. He's already a billionaire. They're literally at that level because they're obsessed with making more fucking money. There is never a dollar amount that is enough. Elon Musk is a billionaire, right? That didn't stop him from trying to rob our country blind by way of Doge and stealing Social Security data. Because there's never enough money. It's like you guys just ignore all the lessons you grew up telling other people. We always say money is corrupt. It's the root of all evil. And then you guys will go and look at a billionaire and be like, oh, you don't need all the money. What the fuck? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Money's the root of all evil. The 4 or 5 billionaires that's currently running our country at the executive level, they don't need any more money. And this is why we're always going to be dealing with this level of crap, because unfortunately, and I've told y'all before, I love you guys, but my biggest battle ain't even with the government. It's getting on the same page with my fellow Americans, because so many of you guys just heard what I said and goes, yeah, that makes sense. Billionaires do have enough money. They would really come up here and not be They would really come up to government with the best intentions possible and not try to make even more money now that they have the ability to actually affect the regulations directly. No, that's not possible. Nah. Anton, you heard me. Good evening, by the way. First off, how was your week?
You already know.
Yeah. You heard me say I was about to end this stream. Why did you hop up here so late?
I was busy on my show. That's why, man.
Oh, you got one, bro?
I'm working with the Sparta. We were doing the show, and I was doing that show as well.
Put it up. Like, what's the show you on? Tell everybody about it real quick.
Well, the channel I'm working on is called Sparta HQ. So it's me, Sparta, and Mr. Bennett. The three of us are working on that. We've done basically like, we'll do stuff, talk about pro wrestling. We'll have like an either or conversation about stuff. Of course, you know, they do the gray area on Sundays. Yep. And it's simulcast both here and on our channel as well. So we were just finishing up having a discussion about Marvel versus DC. And we just finished up about maybe a little over, I'll say about maybe 15 minutes ago. About maybe 10, 15 minutes ago. And then me and someone else, we were just chopping up for another 10 minutes or so and everything. That's why. So if you think I abandoned you, nah. I'm doing stuff as well.
Do your thing. Be creative.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I saw the topic and I'm saying like, my man, he was just dumb for saying that. Like, really? And of course, you know, the UFC is a cocoon for individuals who are part of that agenda. So why is it that even now, even still to this day, Michelle Obama's still dealing with vitriol with these, with the nonsense with these individuals? You know what I mean?
Anton, we're supposed to be, and you know how I feel about that dumbass event. But even still, you're supposed to be celebrating the 250th on this day in a fight, and you win, right? You're the champion. And one of the things on your mind is saying that Michelle Obama's a man.
You couldn't say, hey, it was a good fight, respect to my opponent. You couldn't say something like, hey, I'm glad I got just to be a part of this. This is one of the few things I never thought I'd be part of. It's a privilege and honor, yada, yada, yada. Shout out to so-and-so and this, that, and the other. And that's it. You couldn't really just say that. He had to be extra. But they don't care. Because the same rules you and me and everyone else have to abide by, that same demographic will say they're the exception to the rule. But also at the same time, oh, I was exercising my freedom, my right to free speech. Okay. And if I said something that would get their agenda angry, we all know what they want to do.
But it's just an example of just because you can doesn't mean you should. Right? You could get up there and say a lot of things and then go, oh, my First Amendment right, or hey, I'm just joking and all this other shit. You know what's crazy, Anton? If the roles were reversed and a liberal won, and the first thing he did screened was Melania Trump is a sex worker, do you think MAGA would be as tolerant? We know the answer to that, right?
And let's be honest. Yeah. Perfect example. I'll just say one name. And you know what? I'm not even going to say the person's name. I'm just going to use the initials. Charlie Kilo.
Oh, you mean Charlie Kirk?
Yep.
Fuck him.
And we all know what happened when what happened to him. and people put all what they said, how they felt, and so on and so forth. What happened? That wasn't Cash Patel. I think it was Vice President. Yeah, the VP. Report them. Get them fired. So on and so forth. And you know what happened to all those, to a lot of those individuals that lost their jobs or were arrested or anything else because of those posts? All those individuals got money back from those respective states or institutions who terminated them and had them locked up.
You know what's also crazy too, when I think about it? Just like Trump's first assassin, Kirk got taken out by one of his own listeners.
That doesn't surprise me.
Like, bro, these MAGA hatters don't even, these conservatives, these right-wingers in America, I keep saying it all the time, Anton, they don't even like each other. They can't even get along with each other. Never mind anyone else. You know what I mean? They just got a problem with anyone. Hell, look at them now, bro. There's certain people, you're not Christian enough. Right? I thought Mormonism was a sect of Christianity. Apparently, I was wrong the whole fucking time.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, Christians will tell you they ain't Christian, but they believe in Jesus. Yeah, but they're not Christian. Oh, okay.
I heard those arguments. I remember hearing those arguments about, perfect example, remember when Mitt Romney was running for president in 2012? What was the big issue about him? He's a Mormon.
That was one of the reasons, Anton, they literally stayed home. Not the reason, but it was one of the reasons. White American men stayed home in 2012.
Because he was a Mormon. And I'm like, really? The last person I read about that ran for president and people gave him a hard time because of his faith was John F. Kennedy, a Catholic.
Anton, and you know what? Chat, god damn it, Anton, you about to have me up here. Fuck. Well, I know we got a lot of white conservatives up in the chat. If somebody could help, and Anton, please school me while I'm asking the chat. What is up with WASP? Is that what they called? White Anglo-Saxon Protestant?
Yep.
What's their beef with Catholicism, and why did that still transfer over? Because that was a European thing, and they still brought it over here in America.
Yeah, because a lot of sects within the Protestant church, Methodist, Lutheran, Presbyterian, Episcopalian, Pentecostal, so on and so forth, all really started when Martin Luther, the Lutheran Papers, basically went against the Catholic Church. Ironically, still to this day. Plus, also, if you remember King Henry VIII, when he wanted another divorce and the Pope says, no, I'm not doing it, that's what led to Henry VIII to establish the Anglican community, a.k.a. the Church of England. That's why the crown is also the head of the church. Britain still to this day still have anti-Catholic laws on the books. And
well, what's that have to do with, but I get that. How did that transfer to JFK and here in America? Because he was getting plenty of hate for that, as we were suggesting, Anton.
Right.
That's still transferred over here.
Because here's the thing. What location that used to be part of the UK had a very large delegation of Catholics?
Protestants?
No. What location in the UK?
Ireland?
There you go.
Yeah.
People forget Ireland at one time was part of the UK. It didn't gain their independence until a little over 100 years ago. And
we all know.
And the majority of the people in Ireland are Catholic.
And we all know the nasty history between the Irish and the British.
Not the British,
Okay.
the English.
The English, my bad. Yeah, the English. Woo. Because that actually, historically, yes, it matters. It matters.
It's English.
Yes.
Not the Irish don't have issues with the Scots or the Welsh. The Northern Irish are still their brothers and sisters. They have issues with the English. And also, here's the thing people didn't realize. When you had the large conclave of Irish come to the States, especially after the potato famine,
Yeah.
what do you think they were doing in the major cities?
What were they doing?
They were the cops. They were the firefighters. They were the sanitation workers.
All blue collar jobs.
Exactly.
Infrastructure shit. Yeah.
Exactly. And I found this story out too. One of the largest police department in the country, the NYPD, the New York Police. If you go to every precinct house in New York City, no matter what borough you go to, you're always going to find a green lantern hanging outside of the precinct house. Plus, also people forget, green has always been associated with the Irish Catholics. Orange has always been associated with the Protestants. The big issue that went on in Northern Ireland, the Troubles and everything else.
Anton, help us out here. Loretta's giving us some good insight, and I need you to break it because you're way more knowledgeable about this. But Loretta's giving us some real insight. There are two types of Catholics as a rule: Roman and Byzantine. I hope I said that right, guys. Byzantine. Their so-called protests are Rome using our government to silence non-Roman Catholics. What do you think about that?
That was always a big issue back then. And people felt like the Vatican was too powerful. That's why. People were afraid that they're getting their orders from the Vatican. That was one of the reasons why John F. Kennedy got a lot of flack when he was running for president. Because people felt he was going to take orders from the Vatican. That's why one of the things that he did during the election, while he was running, is he had that speech to a convention of Baptist ministers saying that he was going to be loyal to the Constitution and not to the Vatican. Because that was always the big fear. And when you translate that, when it comes to Mitt Romney, because he was also an elder within the Mormon church. I think the temple his family attended, he was an elder. So he had significant influence. And also his family were that of the last of the prominent polygamous families within the church. People were afraid he was going to take orders from Salt Lake City and not go along with the Constitution.
All right. Tracy Caban, what about the Norsemen? Tracy, from this conversation standpoint, correct me if I'm wrong, Tracy. All the Norsemen, that Scandinavian DNA, that is what made English people, right? The Anglo-Saxons and everything.
The Anglo-Saxons.
Right? And so they was already mixed up in everything. And so with the religions too, they definitely more like animalistic and pagan oriented. Or were before Christianity. But Tracy, that's why I'm up here asking questions, because I am not an expert. You know what I mean? Let's see. Oh, Lord of Grief. JFK was tied with the Germans and the Chinese, and documents showing they were trying to destroy
Okay. And next.
Yo, my man is coming with smoke tonight, Anton. Also, NASA, which is run by Nazis, also admitted in documents that the firmament exists, and China actually leaked the firmament exists. NASA and link. Okay, so God damn it. Why do I always try to do this, Anton? I always try to be giving my chat, even though they be pissing me off.
You know what it is? After World War II, a lot of engineers
Went into the atomic,
scientists after World War II. Not all of them were German. Some of them were German, some of them were Swiss.
Yeah.
They all, as an agreement to not be prosecuted with war crimes, took their knowledge of a lot of things, brought it here to the States. And some of them helped lay the foundation to when the space program started, aka NASA.
Yeah. Tracy said the Norse, she said we was correct. The Norse pagan is different. Yeah. And then, okay, so Tracy, am I also correct? And I'm not just, definitely please be harsh with my comments. It's true, right? Swedish paganism different than the Norwegian, right? The Norse, the Finnish, whatever like that. Like some were more animalistic than the, right? Like even then they didn't have more universal.
Talking about the time of the Vikings.
Yeah.
They were very loyal, fierce. Ironically, if I remember somewhere, I read it somewhere. I think Finland, one of the countries in Scandinavia, was formed when Sweden and Norway at one point were part of one country. They said, if I remember, and I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, somebody in the chat let me know, that Finns have a connection to both Swedes and Norwegians. Now, I could be wrong, but I remember reading that somewhere. Because if you notice, their flag patterns are all similar to each other. Sweden, Finland, Norway, Iceland, Denmark, the Faroes, they all have similar patterns to their flags. And those are some very not easy languages to learn how to speak if you are not a non-native speaker.
Anton, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to break down white people next week.
The Scandinavian cross, thank you. I forgot what it was called, New Damon. Thank you. Because I was always trying to remember what it was. It's the Scandinavian cross. Thank you.
Yeah. We're going to break that down. We're going to break down, obviously, because they don't really call themselves white in Europe like that. You know, like I always think about that, Anton. Like, could you imagine you and I going to Dublin, Ireland, and telling the Irish dude he's the same as the Englishman because they're both white? I wonder what would happen to us.
That's a good shit kicker right there.
I wonder if we would even survive getting to the door.
Nope. Because the Irish still to this day have a strong dislike of the English. And and something that I learned not only from a friend I was in college with, but even from an ex-girlfriend. And that is 26 plus 6 equals 1. And they explained to me the significance of that, and I was like, wow, that's
heavy. Phil. Yeah, it'd be like calling an Indian Pakistani. Oh, yeah. God. Oh, God.
Seriously, bro.
All right,
Tony
man.
King said this: the English used to refer to the Irish as white Negroes. I can believe that because here's a funny name most people never knew that was Irish. Here's a first name most people never realized that was actually of Irish origin. Tyrone.
Oh yeah, bro.
A lot of people did not know that.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of names they consider ghetto today or black names today that's all up and down European lineage, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's why I'm saying, like, next week, dog, I think I'm gonna break our people down. And shout out to I want to make sure I say the name. Shout out to Tracy, Loretta. No, I want to make sure I say her name correctly.
Okay.
Loretta. Tracy and Loretta, man, they came with some dope knowledge, man. Dog, Anton, y'all, you know, I try to keep these streams short.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm already. What are your final thoughts, bro?
Plain and simple. I have no idea why he had to say that. Why this MMA fighter had to say that. I really don't. Was it clickbait or to make it look like as if he was all about the current administration? I don't know. Maybe it was both. One of the things I remember reading about that happened that people didn't know was the lights, when they were checking the lighting, and all the flashing lights and everything for the fight, the lights were so bright that I like shaving my head. The lights were so bright that a pilot that was flying into DC was blinded. And he said that was the brightest he's ever seen lights in his line of sight while flying in his aviation career. Like, that's how bright the lights were. And when he filed a flight safety report and everything else and tried to get in touch with the FAA and did all of the things that was necessary to let them know, like, yo, this makes no sense that what's going on at the White House. And I think someone tried to get in contact with the White House. They were like, well, just contact the FAA. Like, it was not that big of a deal. Now, my thing is, if that pilot that was doing his descent was blinded and either came up short or overshot the runway, would you have that same attitude, or were you coming up with some other nonsense saying why that pilot made a mistake? This is an individual that has to have attention on himself. He needs attention. And I don't know if you saw the picture of what happened when he was at the G7. I think there was a picture where all the leaders just ignored him. He's just standing there and everyone else is mingling. It's funny how he keeps saying, it's this person, it's this person, that person, it's this country, that country, so on and so forth. And no one has the guts to tell him, it's not them. It's you.
Yep.
But then again, God forbid if you tell the truth to a colonizer.
Well, Anton, congratulations again for your championship.
53 years in the waiting. Hey, 53 years in the waiting.
Hey, y'all deserved it, man. I'm happy for you guys.
I'm happy. I'm happy because for a lot of us who've seen the setbacks and the heartbreak of them coming close and coming up short, I still remember 94. I graduated high school in 94. Yeah. And that still hurts me because the Rangers won the cup that year. And everybody was hoping the Knicks would do the same thing. We still, around here, we still talk about the summer of 94 like it was yesterday. Because that's when the Garden was the Garden. Because every night it was something going on. One night it was for the Knicks, the next night was for the Rangers.
But now you guys got something fresh to talk about. You know what I mean?
And it's great too. And I found out that Dolan spoke to the team right before the start of the playoffs, and he says, I need you guys to give me your best for the next 10 weeks. I need you guys to give it your all to make
sacrifices. Anton, I can't keep going, bro. Bro, I hope you, again, I'm glad you doing work on that channel. Please, yeah, when you're done, bro, if you want, you always welcomed up here.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Maybe I should start getting Red Bulls. Something. But you have a great night, bro.
All right, you have a good one, Tarus. Everyone in the chat, y'all have a good one. All right? That's all I'm going to say. Y'all have a good one. All right?
All right, guys. I know we be arguing back and forth, chat, but y'all know I like our special dynamic. We got to get this shit off our chest, man. Hump day, Wednesday night. Guys, we just going to yell at each other. I mean, within reason, within taste. But did you guys see, once we established how easy it was for us to go back and forth with each other, and yet we didn't have to drop racial slurs? You know what I mean? We was going back and forth. The jokes were coming. I was fucking y'all saw the veins coming out. I was about to bust a blood vessel. Y'all talking about I'm emotional, need to take the meds. But guess what? We all seem to somehow do it with tact. Be insulting with taste. Okay? That's how we do it on this channel, man. We don't do echo chambers around here. I can't do echo chambers, bro. I think y'all know me by now. I can't. Right? Yes, it would be nice, right? To have a little bit more people up here. You know what I mean? That are kind of liberal, but I get it, bro. Guys, I am on the island on this network, and that is okay. I'm glad I got people like Anton coming up every now and then. I'm glad I got my guy in Twitch like Match coming up. I'm glad I got some regulars like Loretta and everybody. Some people coming up, you know what I mean? Like, it's cool. And again, guys, I'm mad and I'm passionate and I'm emotional because I give a fuck. And it might not come out the most productive way. That's why I'm on 4 different medications. All right, guys, y'all know my history. Y'all know the background. Okay. But regardless of that, bro, I know whether you got mental issues or where you ain't got no issues, you gotta get this shit off your chest, guys. Gotta get this shit off your chest. Can't hold it in. You know what I mean? You gotta talk to somebody. Our American guys, we got way too much connectivity to be this isolated from one another. And y'all know I'm right. It don't make any sense why we have the ability to really connect with each other, and yet we have become more and more isolated. I don't care what your political ideology is or what your religious beliefs is. That shit ain't okay, and we got to take care of one another. And I need you to take care of yourself. All right, guys, please, for the love of God, for love of everything, take care of yourself. I'm Tarus the Warlock. Please like, share, subscribe to Black Man Unfiltered. My QR code's at the top if y'all want to subscribe to my direct channel. You guys have a great night. I'll see you next week. Peace.